Hey guys, and welcome to BLOOMBOX. I'm Kalandra,
And I'm Leanne.
and today we are going to keep it nice, short, and sweet. And we're really talking to our fellow business owners, side hustlers, or anybody who just has a lot of crap going on and a lot of projects to manage. Whew, it's a lot.
Yeah, we had one of our topics that we listed that we wanted to talk about was being a female entrepreneur. And we just wanted to talk about a few experiences that we've been having, specifically burnout.
Specifically.
And things.
Hardcore.
Yeah, a really bad burnout, and the basic gist of it is our businesses tend to cater to helping others, either emotionally or physically or both, and as a byproduct of trying to create our businesses and keep them running, we have been neglecting our own selves basically, and so we've been trying to get back into self-care routines for ourselves in our homes and try to do some of the things that we encourage other folks to do as measures of self-care.
Right.
So, did you want to start?
One of the things that I have been experiencing a lot, and I'm one of those folks I start feeling something, I'm like, let me research this. I had a thought, let me make sure that this is on the level and I'm not just crazy. And as far as like burnout goes, art and what I do is an act of service. It's a loving gesture to you guys from me. But my whole thing is that you are enough, we are enough, I'm enough. But I typically tend to forget that I can't do everything by myself. So that's when the burnout starts to come into play. And I'm not saying this just as a way of me, saying it, but I'm backing it up with this. If you feel like you're burning out, or if you're starting to feel more irritable, like you just can't get enough sleep, uninspired, I don't want to use the word moody, but that is if you're feeling moody, or if you're starting to feel like the amount of projects you have are stacking too high, love, you're burnt out, and this is what you probably need to do. One of the things that I have researched and found is that especially women, entrepreneurs, business owners, project jugglers, one thing that you can do to help avoid that burnout is to reclaim your mornings and the time that you dedicate to yourself. So I know this is probably going to be hard a little, like starting out, but I highly recommend waking up a little earlier if that's what you need to do, or just restructuring the time that you have in the morning so that you can make time to just sit and be with yourself, quiet meditation, guided meditation, whatever you need, or even if it's just listening to some good uplifting music in the morning to, get those good energies flowing through you. I recommend eating a good breakfast. If that means you got a meal prep, do that. I recommend, if you have to do this, my dad used to make me do this. He used to make me get all of my clothes ready for the week. Hated it. I really did. But it really kind of helped me. It helped me keep my mornings flowing well. So I recommend all those things as far as reclaiming your time in the morning goes. What other topics or what?
Yes, I will chime in on that a little bit because sometimes I know it's hard to add another task to your list, so be a little easy on yourself. If some days you kind of fall back and you need the rest because
that was me this morning.
I find that I end up having to like ride the waves of productivity sometimes. So if I'm in a headspace where I can do what you're recommending, yes, it's awesome. I actually have been noticing, and I feel like it's I refer to it as my aging body, but I've been sleeping horribly for the last few years, and one of the things that I've been experiencing is my body, no matter what time I go to sleep, and I sort of was forcing myself to stay in my old sleep pattern or schedule was I keep waking up without fail at around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Not that I want to get up at 3 o'clock, but I've just decided to maybe try to go to sleep earlier to accommodate the fact that my body just apparently wants to get up at 4-ish. And, I would love to push it a little bit further to 5, but my dog seems to think, oh, we're up, so we're up.
Let's go.
Let's go. Feed me and love me, and let's get this day started. So I've been sort of trying to go with that a little bit more, and it's been pretty cool, like you said, reclaiming the morning, because then I get some of the stuff done for my business or for my house. My home kind of falls apart because it's like not only do we have to take care of our businesses, but there's nobody else to take care of our homes, and I'm a homebody. I love being at home, and I love feeling organized. I don't like cleaning.
I didn't think about that.
I don't like cleaning, which is hard because I like feeling organized, but I don't like cleaning, so it's a strange combination. But I've been trying to organize my house in such a way that it's more efficient and easier to work from when I'm at home too, in the mornings too. So that's, but like I said, be gentle with on yourself with exploring these different routines, because sometimes our headspaces aren't ready or can't one day be as productive as we would like. So to listen to your body, and you may just need some sleep.
I agree. Yeah. And that was totally me this morning. I just needed the extra sleep, like desperately.
Yeah. We can be kind of militant sometimes, and it's not easy to keep that going.
I'm not saying to be like completely like structured. Like I get up at 8:15, listen to guided meditation until 8.
But if that works, you can do that. You can do that if it works.
Whatever works.
It's right. I'm just saying.
There are options.
And everybody's different. And that's the beauty.
So we spoke on the morning, like reclaiming your mornings. We discussed boundaries as far as like being business owners and just having to exchange and interact with folks. One of the ways that I've been paying more attention to this, because it's a big part of being a business owner, I've been trying to, at first it was kind of like, this is what I made and it has value, and I'm not going to try and, prove it to other people. But then there were people that wanted me to prove it to them. So one of the boundaries that I had to set early on is this is what it is. This is the price. That's it. And as opposed to doing that, I don't have those conversations as often because I don't entertain them. Like, that's a boundary, just not even having that conversation. Like, this is what it is. But also, like, contracts, if you are working with contracts, or if you work with other business owners, or even just, like clients that require you to have contracts, your contract is a list of your boundaries.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think I really, utilized that until last year. Last year for sure was big with the contracts and stuff like that. So I highly recommend, and this could even be like your terms and conditions, your product outline, whatever. Just be sure that you're communicating those things well, because that way nobody can say you can be taking care of yourself and you can take care of your customers too, because if you already have that list of things, there's no if, ands, buts, maybes, or negotiation if you don't want to negotiate, because you shouldn't have to negotiate yourself or your product.
Sure. And to add to that, that's awesome, because I need to get better with the contract thing. Our time in business. Yep. So setting your hours for when you will respond to emails, or it's so easy when you're kind of available 24/7 via social media. Yeah. So having boundaries with when you will answer questions or when you will not. Time, and how much, it's hard when people try to negotiate pricing with your time. But I guess that goes along with the contract thing. Yeah. Because our time is also valuable. And artists have a very hard time pricing accordingly. I think we feel like we overprice sometimes.
In the beginning, it can be difficult, especially if you don't know what your your worth is, or if you're not really firm in your self-worth, or I wish there was another term, in your business worth. I don't know. I'm trying to find a term for it, but just I'm going to say self-worth, because I mean everything in business is really, it's really you putting yourself out there in this little form of yourself. And I think that time is important too, because if you're like, okay, well, these are my hours. I'm not working on this project after my hours or before my hours. And we agreed, or the contract states that I'm getting paid, or you're going to exchange this amount of money per hour. It is what it is. That's a good one.
Just like you said, learning what works and what doesn't work. Like, I won't ship certain things right now because they break. And I'm not going to, I don't have the capacity to figure out how to do it so that it's affordable for me, and it's more affordable to not ship like a specific item right now, because I've had at least 3 damaged by the post office, but like the carrier, and it ends up falling back on our small business owner to pay for these things, and
it hurts more.
It hurts more. I don't have the money, so you think you've earned this money, and then it like slaps you the other way, because you need to figure, and that goes back to the contract, I guess, right? Like, have maybe add, figure out how to add insurance to that instead of not shipping it, but
like increasing the pricing of shipping just because things like that could happen, or like bubble wrapping and wrapping the crap out of it. I had that same problem with my terries when I was shipping them, remember? And it was bad, and I think that I'm not even going to get into that. But yeah, time is great. And also, like, being really firm about the time that you set aside for yourself. Like, just like you're saying, how, like, social media kind of gives everyone the impression that you're just available
all the time.
24/7, infinitely, no matter what. Like, no.
And I have I used to work at a magazine, and part of our job was quick response to folks. This is pre-Instagram and Facebook. Facebook existed when I worked there, but I was, Anyway, I have it programmed in me to answer people as soon as possible because of that job, really, I think. So that is something I have to work on. But even like last night, my day job, I got home, I work I get off earlier on Fridays at my day job, and I just made it a point that yesterday to go home and make a nice dinner and sit down with my, walk my dog, go home, sit with him, and just watch TV and not really do anything until this morning when I got up and had a kind of a productive morning at the house, which time leads me into our next topic is consistency. So routines kind of goes with that, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to be consistent with making videos here. We're trying to be consistent with our Saturdays here at the Address in downtown Shreveport. We're open every Saturday from 12 to 4, the artist floor. It's slow right now because we're new. So we're trying to be consistent with being open and being here, and create events and do things to show the public that we are here and that we are present and we are doing cool things for the community.
Right. Also, it's important to be consistent with yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Be consistent with yourself. I find, like, with my locks, I do my own locks. Like, this is all handmade, hand done. And for me, my locks are like a sacred routine, washing them, retwisting them. I have well over probably a couple hundred in here. But when I neglect that routine for too long, I really feel disconnected from myself. So having those things that your routines, things that you do for yourself and doing them consistently can help you show up better in your business. And I know, like, my hair is, my hair is A lot. It's a big deal to me. It's really important to me, and it's really symbolic of my growth as not only a person, but as a spiritual being. But like my hair, my home, like consistently taking care of my home. I am a sucker for efficient systems and comfy items and organization and like open spaces. But when I'm sucking at taking care of my time and my business and everything else, my apartment suffers the most. And me, I suffer the most. Like my workout routine, haven't even been doing that. And just being consistent with myself. And I've done this. I was like 2 years straight. I was like so consistent with myself. And I flourished in my spiritual being. Like literally all day. I was like, all day. It's perfect. And then life happened. And I fell off from that consistency from self. So, and that doesn't have to be a workout routine or like a hair routine or anything. Literally just be you making time consistently when you need to. You know, if it's on a Sunday, every Sunday you know, sit outside on your balcony and read comic books or go and take yourself for a walk, or, you know, you're taking care of your little guy.
Sam.
Yeah, it's a consistent thing.
Oh, I have no
you.
choice.
Yeah.
With that.
Oh yeah.
If you have a kid, I guess it's the same way. But my dog is he's very routine oriented, and that's helpful for me when I'm in a funk. Actually,
Kids can do too.
But I'm going to go back to what I said too before about not being super militant with yourself, unless it helps you. Yeah. I know people who are actually being kind of militant and organized helps relieve their stress. I am the type of person who I do like consistency. I think it comes from my job at the magazine. Yeah, I like things to balance. I was just thinking about this morning, the yin and yang thing. I thought it was really funny. I actually feel more secure and happy when I find some sort of balance, like a yin and yang. I was looking at my shampoo conditioner like next to side by side, and I don't know. I find comfort in my home, but I find comfort in feeling prepared. Yeah. So I feel comfort in having like food in the fridge. I feel comfort in having. I have sort of organized my kitchen a little bit, and I feel less cluttered, which is helping me feel less chaotic. And I think I like when I worked at the magazine, our job was to make sure everything aligned at the bottom and was like balanced. And I feel like that is sort of when I feel the most secure is when I feel, prepared and balanced. Like there's enough toilet paper and weird little things like the toilet paper. There's enough toilet paper in the house. I don't have to go, tissue boxes or whatever it is, so I don't have to go. I like feeling prepared, I guess, and not empty. Yeah, I like when my daily. Like when I walk through my apartment and everything is like, I don't want to say stopped. Yeah. But everything is like in its place. I know that like I don't need anything. Or even if I do need something, I know exactly what that thing is. That's really comforting. Yeah. I'm trying to clear out the clutter right now too. And like I was going through my clothes and like anything that doesn't fit or is like messed up, like stretched out or something, it's going away. Yeah. So I can see what I have, and everything is being used. I'm a bit of a hoarder with certain things. I think a lot of artists, creative people are. Like we keep things to like use in projects and stuff. I hoard art supplies. Yeah, and I used to do that like too. Glass bottles and jars. I'm like, I'm gonna paint this, and then all of a sudden I have like crates and crates of jars. Yeah, so I'm guilty of that too. So I'm trying not to do that, or have everything where it belongs, like stuff that should be at the studio, move to the studio, and there is something to it. You feel less chaotic when you're organized, and there's that thing about making your bed every morning, which I don't do.
I do that every now and then. Like when I remember.
Sometimes I do.
Like if I don't wake up at the last minute and I'm like, oh crap, I need to leave.
Yeah, because then you've at least done one thing.
And it's really satisfying.
Productive.
You, like, come home.
Yeah.
And
even
it's
if
all
that's
nice and made, and it's
all
like
you did.
There are piles of laundry all around my bedroom, but my bed.
Exactly. So
my bed is
again, we do the best that we can in the days. Some days our 100% is our 80% on other days. So we just have to be mindful of our mental health and our mental state.
All the time.
I use services like curbside pickup and like Shipt Shipt to have someone shop for me as a form of self-care and for my mental health, because I don't have, I'm sure I could make the time, but I'm, on my own doing everything. So I'm grateful that it exists to have some of these services.
And it's this wasn't on the list, but I'm going to add this to the list.
Okay.
Receiving help. I'm going to add that to this list of
asking and
business ownership or project manager or whatever we want to, call this, whatever you refer to yourself as, receiving help from people that you trust. Because as business owners, etc., and me specifically, it is super hard for some reason to two sides of the coin. It's hard to do everything on your own, but it's even harder to let somebody else come in and help. And I don't know what I do know what that's about. That's just the no, I got it. I don't want to have help. Or like, if you help me, you're going to want something in return. But trust me, when you are doing something that makes you happy, and this is the key, and you trust this person who's offering their assistance, that's another load off of your shoulder. Like shit. You're grocery shopping.
Yeah, and it's great.
Personally, grocery shopping is not enjoyable to me unless it's like on a Sunday, I have nothing else to do, and there's like nobody else really in the store, and I'm strolling down the aisles. I'm like, oh, coconut water. Throw it in the thing. I like that, but I don't like doing it when I'm already burnt out.
Yeah.
So receiving help, and this is a lesson that I've recently had to learn. Receiving help, it just requires a level of vulnerability that I feel like some of us are not yet ready to kind of do. And I'm bad at it too, but...
Yeah, I was going to say... we're going to have to wrap it up in a minute, actually. Yeah. But I was going to say to add to that, and then we can maybe kind of finish for today, that be mindful of who you surround yourself with. This is, goes for personal life, but, if you notice a lot of the people that you are surrounding yourself with, both personal or business, are more draining to you than supportive, that's another sort of self-care measure. I'm not saying toss friends out left and right, but I'm just be mindful of the fact that what we consume is also what we surround ourselves with, energetically speaking, especially creative people. But on the whole, we absorb each other's energy, and if it's going to drag you down, you may rethink how you spend your time and who you spend your time with.
And that's why having like a mission statement, or like just like always keeping like wearing on your sleeve your why, or the thing that's driving you to create these, whatever you're creating, products, projects, community gatherings, whatever. It's super important to always have the reason that you're doing all this very near and dear to you. It'll help guide you, and it'll help you to recognize when someone is not a part of that goal, journey, purpose. But also it'll keep you from possibly diverting off of your path. And it'll keep you from the opposite of receiving help and giving too much of yourself to people who repurpose it for things that are not what they should be.
Yeah. It goes back to boundaries, right?
Yep.
So one of the other things we have to sort of learn how to do is kind of shield our energy, because we're not always going to be able to control who is around us. So we need to learn how to ground ourselves,
especially
as business owners, because you can't
folks
control
who have public spaces.
Yeah, you can't control who comes to those types of things. So you just, learn how to ground yourself, learn how to clear your energy after you've been around people who have drained you a little bit, which comes back to having a home that's a sanctuary and friends who are supportive and lovely. So, having said all that, we have decided that our sister circle this March it's Women's History Month in March, which is coming up, and we have decided to have a special circle this month devoted to self-care. So that we're calling it Self-Care Sunday, and we have asked our friend Nikki to come and do a sound bath at the end. So it's going to be an extended circle by about 30 minutes, just so everybody can
soak in that goodness.
Yeah, on the way out, and still get home in time to have dinner with your family. So it'll be 3 to 5:30 this month in March. So we'll put the details up on our Facebook pages. We have separate Facebook pages, but we will put the info out. And we hope to see you there, and we can talk more about whatever you need to talk about. Basically, I think this month is going to be a
really open
circle that we can talk about self-care and whatever we need to talk about to feel more grounded and balanced. So.
I am excited for it because I think that just post New Year, major holidays, for me personally, Black History Month is always a little bittersweet, and it causes me a little bit more exhaustion just because of the I don't know. It's just something about I feel the messages get distorted, even if they come from the purest or most educational or fact-driven sources. I think that we all need a reset and a refresh and a moment to step outside of the projects and the things that need to be done and everything, and just release and breathe in. Hey, you and I are the yin yang today.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so we hope to see you. That will be March 20th, I believe, is the date for that. And we're here every Saturday at the Andress Artist and Entrepreneur Center.
And we have websites.
You
ain't even gonna leave your sofa.
We do, and we'll put those in the description for this video. So we hope to see you here for our next video. And if you have any comments or questions, you can add them underneath here,
and we will answer you. Well, otherwise, I hope you guys got something from all of this, and I hope that you continue to go for whatever you're going for, but also to be gentle with yourself and to be loving to yourself and your business and everyone else. Otherwise, we're out of here. Wish you luck. Wish you the best. Bye, guys. Thanks for spending time.